Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Nicole. It's Thursday, only a single day after our little confrontation with Jeff in his room where we agreed to be his lab assistant, but apparently Nicole has some other troubles with hunky boys that needs to be done today, so here we are. Ugh, this sucks. I'm done with class for the day, so why am I still heading to the library? This is my inner brainiac's fault. I don't want to go at all, but I've got a paper to write. Thankfully, it's not that long. I still have plenty of time to finish it. I just want to get a running start. A girl needs some time to kick back and relax here and there, and I doubt my conscience would let me if I didn't do at least a little work. The first floor of the library has a front desk, the computer lab, and different kinds of offices, but the second floor is my destination. All the books and study desks are located here, which means it'll be nice and quiet. Perfect for concentrating. Bookshelves stand in my way like walls of a maze. I remember the study desks are toward the back, and I slip into an aisle to start weaving my way through. Other people are doing the same, and I stop as I recognise someone familiar. Ooh, who's it going to be? Who's going to be in the library? Darren's standing in the middle of an aisle, and he's carefully studying a row of books. I nearly call out to him before I realise the glorious opportunity. Nicole, whatever you're thinking right now, the guy who suffers from severe social anxiety and clearly has issues with physical contact and other forms of real-world communication and touch, is not going to appreciate whatever mad, stupid thing you're planning, but let's find out what idiot thing Nicole's about to do. Oh, this is going to be so mean, but so worth it. He's so close to the shelf, there's room to sneak behind him, and I lean over close to Darren's ear. A smirk graces my face before I start whispering. Hey, Darren. He jumps as he hears me and whips his head round, knocking himself into the bookshelf. Well, there you go, Nicole. What the hell is Darren wearing today? Gosh, are you okay? Even as I say it, I'm unfortunately laughing. His reaction is priceless. I have to cover my mouth while I steady him upright. Yes, Nicole, because you snuck up behind him, whispered in his ear, he spun round, banged his head, and now you're laughing at him. Bloody genius, this boy. I'm sure he's going to utterly love you for it. Darren stumbles on his words, and he shakes his head as if he's trying to unjumble them in his mouth. Do not suddenly do that. I'm really sorry for that, I couldn't resist. I laugh and clap him lightly on the shoulder a few times. However, my touch causes him to flinch away. Oh, my bad. Crap, I forgot. He doesn't do well with touching. My hands waver indecisively in the air, but Darren doesn't stay upset for long. I'm alright. I was only surprised. Just please, don't sneak up on me like that again. No promises. I giggle as Darren's body heaves with a weary sigh. I'm kidding, I won't do it again, for real. So, what you up to? Hitting the books? With the subject skillfully changed, I take a moment to glance over the book bindings and read the titles. They're old works of fiction, the ones they make you read in high school for book reports. Lately, I've had the urge to read more of the classics. Well, that's actually not entirely the truth. Darren laughs nervously and pushes on the bridge of his glasses. I want to attempt to read a horror story. I don't do well with them. I think the reason must be because I haven't read enough of them. I think back to how skittish he was when we first met. He nearly jumped in his seat any time I tried to come near him. Yeah, let's go with that. I've no idea where to start though. I've read Dracula, Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Picture of Dorian Gray, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. He starts listing off so many books that my head starts spinning. Whoa. I thought you said you hadn't read that many. No, I think I said that I haven't read enough of them. There must be something more that I've missed, though I was barely able to handle the others. So you're looking for something you haven't read and something more intense. Hey, I've got just the ticket. Ever heard of Rock Wasps? I can't say that I have. Who's the author? No, it's not a book. It's a sort of web series, it's hard to explain, but I think of it as a bunch of creepy stories altogether. I see. So it's online. My technical expertise ends outside of Roller, but I should be able to figure it out. No worries, I've got you covered. We can check it out on my laptop. It's fine. Darren blurts his words out so fast that I reel back in surprise. He notices this, bites his lip, and pauses like he always does when he's thinking about what to say next. I mean, I wouldn't want to impose on you. Darren, I totally insist. Come on, let's snag a table. I march ahead a few steps and then turn around to wave Darren over already. He hesitates, but a hard stare is enough to get him to follow after me with a quiet sigh. We sit at a table in the corner thanks to my insistence. If you don't want anyone to interrupt or get in the way, it's the way to go. I hurry and take the seat nearest the aisle, and Darren looks back and forth between the ones left. I pat the one next to me invitingly. Take this one. The suggestion makes his face go red. Okay. He takes the seat obediently, but draws his arms tight to his sides and his knees close together. Could he even be more tense? It's making me nervous too, and all we're doing is reading. I don't bother to point it out, since I doubt that'll help him relax. I move to my laptop from my bag, and soon enough we're both staring at the homepage for the Rock Wasp site. You ready? I gotta admit, when I first read it, I was definitely creeped out in places. The whole purpose of this is to try to desensitize myself to this material, so yes, I am ready. Darren's way more relaxed by this point, though I've no idea how long this will last. I wasn't kidding when I told him Rock Wasp was creepy. Sure, the start isn't so bad, that's just because it's all setup and foreshadowing. Basically, the story's about a group of friends trying to make a movie named Rock Wasps, hence the title, but details. Throughout the story, they run into this weird guy ghost thing that keeps stalking them and, I shouldn't say too much about it. I don't want to spoil it. Just know there's tons of content and it doesn't stop at text. There are staged videos and recordings too. They even went all out making the series the creepiest thing up. Why do we think this is a real thing and whoever made this game also made this? Or knew the person that did, I don't know. I may have to look this up later to see if Rock Wasps is actually a real thing. I've never heard of it before anyway. But from the way they're talking about it, it sounds like it's actually real. Because, of course, in Her Tofu Boyfriend, someone pointed out the Brian the Pigeon blog that was mentioned in Her Tofu Boyfriend, there was actually a Brian the Pigeon blog that someone linked to in the comments. And I just thought that was a cute throwaway detail, but apparently it was real. As usual, I find myself getting sucked into the story, and I'm leading Darren through like I wrote this myself. I get so carried away showing him all the best parts that I don't notice that nearly all the blood has drained from his face. Nicole? He has one hand pressed to his temple, the other held to my laptop screen to block it from sight. I think I've had enough for now. But this is the part where they check out the abandoned office. You're going to get a total jump, trust me. I think I'll have to pass. My nerves might not be able to handle it. He does look a little shaky when I take a better look at him. Yikes. Whoa, you weren't kidding when you said you don't handle this stuff well. It's embarrassing to admit you wouldn't think it would be possible to react so strongly to scary stories. But my stomach grows upset, I start to shiver. Every little thing seems to stand out and make me anxious. Darren grabs his stomach like he's about to throw up. I wouldn't be that surprised if he did. Wait, what am I saying? Are you going to be okay? I flinched as I realised how loud my voice has been. We're in a library, Nicole. The first rule is no yelling. Thankfully, Darren gives me a reassuring shake of the head. It's past. I'm fine. I didn't mean to alarm you. Phew, better take a break for now. I mentally note where we left off, just in case Darren asks about it later, and then click out of the page. So, if you hate horror stories, what kind of books do you love? Oh, wait, let me guess. Darren chuckles quietly and looks at me with amusement. Okay then, what kind of books do you think I like? I assure you, I do have a favourite. Ooh, okay. Very quiet, very insular, social anxiety, doesn't like the grim and the bloody. Fancy science fiction or historical fiction. So what do we know about Darren from the Voix blog? We know that he kind of put lots of kind of fun historical stuff up, kind of retro vintage stuff. There's a lot of that. So I'm going to say not science fiction, because he kind of put lots of oldie style stuff up. So I'm going to say historical fiction. Because, yeah, I think kind of, he's clearly really into, he clearly reads a lot of books. And I think he had a fascination with old stuff on the Voix blog. There's like lots of old stuff on that, so I'm going to say historical fiction. Let's see if I make another mistake with a character, because obviously I got one of Jeff's wrong last part. So let's see if I can get Darren right at least. Yes, got it right, spot on. Relationship with Darren has moved up. Historical fiction, hands down. I can tell from your blog that you love stuff that deals with the past centuries. Ha, spot on. Darren looks amazed. You got it. Yes, the correct answer is historical fiction. I throw my arms up in the air and silently cheer. I am the literal best. Darren appears amused by my display, and he quietly shakes his head at my antics. Well, you guessed right, but do you know what historical fiction is? I can explain it if you need me to. Historical fiction is like fake stories that happened in the real past. So, be like a romance during World War II, something like that, right? Yes, that's it, exactly. It's fascinating to think of all the research the authors must have had to do. The best historical fiction makes you feel like you were actually there. That must be why you like it so much, huh? Have you ever heard the saying, study the past if you would divine the future? No, but it sounds smart. It's a saying by Confucius. It states that we can predict our futures if we know about the past. If you think about it, it's true. Everything in the present only exists because it has a past as a foundation. So, what I'm trying to say is, I like historical fiction because I like the past. We can learn more about ourselves and where we're headed just by looking back and seeing where we came from. Or, so I believe. It's kind of silly, isn't it? No, not at all. Okay, yeah, I don't get it, but if you like something, then you like something. Nothing wrong with that. Well, if you're going to be adamant about it, I won't protest. What kind of books do you like, Nicole, now that we're on the topic? Easy. Mysteries are my favourite. I like figuring stuff like that out. It's fun, and it's way cool to go through the book a second time, pick out all the clues you missed the first time, you know? I see now why you major in law. Using and connecting evidence is a crucial part of the legislative process. I'm not that deep. I don't really read as much anymore, unfortunately. I should change that, but I always get distracted. By what? Roller. I flash him a sheepish grin, and Darren blinks a few times in response. Well, the first step to admitting you have a problem? He glances down at his watch and balks at the time. Oh, no, I spent longer in here than I meant to. I really have to go now. I don't want to have to walk back to my dorm in the dark. Why? Afraid of faceless stalkers? I wiggle my fingers at him, and make an eerie sort of noise as I reference rock wasps. Darren flinches and hurriedly stands from the seat, holding his bag to his chest. If you'll excuse me. He rushes away, leaving me sitting at the table by myself. I turn to my laptop and close it when I suddenly hear footsteps coming towards me. I look up and see that Darren has returned. Also, that wasn't very funny. He huffs and turns to leave again, apparently having said all he needed to say. I laugh quietly to myself as I pack up my things. Darren sure can be weird sometimes. It's only when I'm on my feet and heading out to the library that I remember. Wasn't I supposed to be writing a paper? No, don't... Time suddenly moved. No, don't tell me I wasted all my time doing nothing. I let out a huge breath, but I perk up as I notice a nearby bulletin board. There's a flyer with help wanted in huge letters. Consider me. You've got 2 jobs already, Nicole. You've got 2 jobs already. You've already got the shop job with Ted and the assistant job with the mad evil scientist. You do not need a 3rd job. I take a closer look. It's a position as a server in the cafeteria. Not the most glamorous job, but another part-time job wouldn't hurt. I snag one of the phone number slips on the flyer, then hurry back to my room. Guess I get started there instead. Congratulations! Wait, I didn't get the little spinny you've unlocked a job when I got the TED job. Has he not confirmed the details yet? Am I still waiting for him to write to me with the details? So, if I go to the cafeteria now, can I, apply or something? No, there's still nothing there. I think, I don't know when I get to select jobs. I'll have to figure that out later. And now, again, it's a flipping 3rd day in a row where we've actually got a chat going on. Apparently, it is so early in the morning, it's still dark on Friday, though. Again, they've obviously just put a blue colour filter over the background, but obviously the shadows, the very sharp shadows off the lamppost are still there. So that is the brightest, most intense moon I've ever seen. But apparently, yes, it's supposed to be first thing in the morning before Nicole actually bothers getting up. But it would appear that there's something is going on early Friday morning. I stifle a yawn as I wait at the back of the convenience store. It's barely light out and the streets are quiet. Why am I awake at this hour? Oh, is this going to be my first shift with Ted? Because I did actually get the job. I just don't know why I didn't get the achievement in the spinny text when I got the job, if that's what this is. I take a look at my phone. It's 6:30. Jeez, if it wasn't for that jerk Ted, I'd still be in bed right now. It's the weekend, for crying out. No, it's not. It's Friday. It's first thing Friday, Nicole. He called me yesterday, telling me today was the day he'd start training me for the job. Not so bad. The weekend is perfect for stuff like that. But I didn't expect him to say that we were going to start so early. I would love to think this is actually going to, and then Nicole realised it was Friday, not Saturday. But I doubt that's where that's actually going, unfortunately. I'm not sure why this is happening on Friday when she's saying it's the weekend, but never mind. How much stuff could he possibly need to teach me anyway? And where is he? All I feel like doing right now is complaining. It's too early for life. About 10 more minutes pass before I finally catch sight of Ted, wearing that jumpsuit I always make fun of. He's holding a tray of coffee like an offering of peace. Here. He hands me a cup of chilled coffee with whipped cream dolloped on top. He smiles and hands me the straw. I figured you were the type who likes fraps. I am, but I'm too tired to be overly grateful. I mutter a thanks before taking the straw, unsealing it and sticking it through the cup's lid. All I need is one sip of the sweet coffee goodness before I'm back on my way to recovering. This is the chocolatey one. Did you get this from Stardoze? Stardoze. The one nearby. Pretty damn expensive for a cup of joe, but we ain't got much time to waste for your training. Ted balances the cardboard tray in a hand as he picks up a cup of hot coffee and places it gingerly to his lips. After a daring sip, it mustn't have been too hot, he sighs in contentment. What I would do for a cup of coffee. You're pretty energetic for 6 in the morning. My voice is as bitter as Ted's drink, and he turns away, the cup to his lips. I do this all the time. It's nothing new to me. Do you have an early class? I come into the store to take inventory, make sure everything's in shape, housekeeping stuff. When that's all done, I head to criminology. I take a surprised sip and wince as the chill hits the top of my mouth all at once. Ugh, but wow, you wake up too early. Can't you let your dad take care of that? Don't cops have to get up early anyway? Ted makes a noise of protest into his cup. Heck no, I'm not going to bother my pa with something like that. He's offered, sure, but I always tell him I got it, 'cause I do. He's got more stuff to worry about than the store. I reckon I can lighten his load however I can. Duh, Best Son of the Year award. Shut up. Ted hands me the cardboard tray so we can rummage in his pocket. He pulls out a key ring and uses one of them to open the back door of the store. Get in there. He opens the door and gestures with his coffee for me to hurry up. I stick my tongue out as I pass. The two of us make our way to the middle of the store. Ted goes over to flick a switch, and the light floods the store, brightening it up from the early dawn. Okay, so can I ask you something? You can? Ted says that in the obnoxious way people do to point out the correct word was may. I ignore him. What the heck are we going to do? And why did I have to wake up before 6 AM to do it? It's training. I'm going to teach you everything you'll have to know around here. It's easy to do when there's no one moseying through the store, so we gotta start early. But that's just the register, right? Right? Ted shakes his head at the desperation in my voice. Wrong. You think that's the only thing I'm going to need you to do? He begins to list off the tasks on his fingers. The register's one thing, but then I'll have to teach you what everything is, things you'll need to know, emergency drills. I stop Ted before he gets too wrapped up in his spiel. Does he seriously think I'm going to need that? I've been trained for a job before, there's nothing that requires this much time. Which makes me wonder, do you do this to everyone you hire? This kind of training? No, this is the first time I've considered it. I groan in disappointment, slumping forwards. Oh, what makes me so special, huh? You're the first person I've ever thought could handle it. Ted pauses for a beat to consider what he just said. Not that I'm saying you're special or anything, just the most capable I've come across. Nope, that's so what you thought. The way Ted blushes only confirms that I'm right, and it's kind of flattering. I must show a lot of promise if I match up to his crazy high standards. If you're ready to believe in me, I'll do my best, boss. I take a determined slurp of my frappuccino. Ow, nope, too fast. I hold a hand up to my head and groan as a sharp chill pierces my brain. Brain freeze! Brain freeze! Don't drink it so fast, you moron. Of course that's gonna happen. Ted holds his hands out unsurely as I try to settle down, but he eventually settles for rubbing his temple like he's the one with brain freeze. Is this your way of doing your best? I'm good now, promise. I take another sip of my drink, slowly this time, to prove it. See? All good now. No more brain freeze. Then, can we start? I meant for us to begin about 5 minutes ago, but all your hollering set us back. I nod eagerly, remembering what Ted reluctantly admitted about me. I'll have to show him that he thought right. From that point on, the training session becomes one huge blur, if I'm telling the truth. I don't know if it was the early morning or what, but I can only recall Ted showing me around the convenience store to point the exact locations of specific merchandise. And I mean literally the exact location. For example, the candy bars are in the second aisle, and they're stacked as follows: YOLOs, Dig Dogs, Herschels, Chuckies, Papa Rudy. Yep, Ted made me memorise where they were, okay? We did this for every single thing in the convenience store. I wonder if my brain just registered this as something too traumatic to remember. Nicole! Hey, Nicole! Ted snaps his finger in my face as I zone out at the register. After that crash course in inventory, which Ted even tested me on, I might add, I was feeling super brain dead. Can anyone really blame me? But I'm going to show him that I can't handle it. Sorry, I'm alive. What were you saying? I was asking if you needed me to explain how to use the register again. I'm guessing that'll be a yes. Grumbling, I bump Ted to the side and take my place at the register. I start miming through the actions I remember him telling me about. All I do is scan the thing, the price pops up, I ask them to pay. Back the whatever, hand them the thing so they can GTFO, right? I turn to Ted confidently, and he actually seems surprised that I knew all of that. A crude way to explain, but you got the gist of it. You must have been paying attention. It was admittedly only a little bit, but I at least managed to BS my way out of that situation. Alright, what's next? Bring it on. Do you need me to, carry boxes or something? It must be obvious I'm trying to make up for drifting off, because Ted snorts at me. No, you don't need to carry anything, though that will be one of your responsibilities later on. Get that memorized. What I need from you now... I quirk an eyebrow as Ted loses some of his composure. Whenever he gets all nervous and awkward like this, I know something weird is going to happen. I'm not trying to be funny with the question, but what's your size? My size? I look down at my chest and then see Ted gesture with his chin that I'm on the right track. I shoot him a glare. Wow, you pervert. No, I'm not asking about how big you are there. What the heck? Then what was up with that? I mimic his gesture, and Ted slaps his forehead so loudly that I bet there's going to be a red mark left behind. As his arms return down to his side, I see a faint trace of one. What I'm asking is your dang shirt size. Are you a large? Oh, Ted. Ted, never say that. When you're asking a woman what her size is, you take what you think it is, and you go one lower so as to flatter her. You're ever trying to guess a woman's age, you take what you think it is, you take a few years off. Ted, you idiot. You gotta learn this stuff. I cover my front with my arms and gasp, pretending to be offended. Why would you think I'm a large? Is that some sort of fat joke? No, I'm just trying to... what the hell is your shirt size, Nicole? Ted's yelling angrily, obviously flustered by our exchange. I'm so close to busting up, but that'll ruin all the fun. Let's just say that teasing Ted like this is a riot. I'm a medium most of the time. I go large sometimes if I want to be comfy. As for my other measurements... I wink at Ted and wag a finger. You're going to have to buy me a few dinners if you want to know that. I told you that I didn't care about that. Golly! Ted storms off to the back room, and I turn to the side to cover my mouth as I explode in a fit of giggles. I really should have started teasing Ted sooner. This is way more fun than I thought it would be. I straighten up when I hear Ted returning. My heart plummets in my chest when I see he's holding one of those ugly grey uniforms on a hanger. Ew, no. I got you a medium, and if that doesn't fit, there are large ones we can get you too. Not that I'm calling you fat. He blushes as he thrusts the uniform out to me. Reluctantly, I take it from him. Do I really have to wear this? It's a uniform. What do you think? Of course you're gonna have to. Ugh, this almost makes it not worth it. What do you want me to do with this? There's no place to change in here. Ted juts a thumb over his shoulder. Change in the back room. There ain't nobody back there, so it'll just be you by your lonesome. I do as Ted says, holding the uniform like a ball on a chain. Maybe it won't look as bad as I think it will. I might end up being pleasantly surprised. I don't end up being pleasantly surprised. 15 minutes later, I finish changing and... 15 minutes? You had to put a shirt on, Nicole. You're getting changed taking a long time to extremes. 15 minutes later, I finish changing and drag myself out so Ted can see the horror he has wrought upon my fashion sense. He's currently leaning against the counter, checking the watch on his wrist when he finally notices me coming. I stand in front of him and spread my arms out. Kill me. No. Does it fit? It's pretty comfy. I can move easily in it too. Medium will totally work for me. Then I'm guessing you're making a face like summoned Dad for some other reason? Something did die, Ted. I hold my hand to my chest dramatically. My soul. Cut it out. I'm sure you'll have to like someone about it. Go on. About bet you can name at least one thing besides how comfy it is. He's got me there. The uniform isn't horrendously bad. There actually is something else I like about it. Ooh, I like the material. I like how tight it is. I like the colour of it. Well, not how tight it is, because that's just slightly odd, because we just established that it was fine. What would I like about it? Did he say anything about the uniform in previous parts? I'm trying to remember if we have any reason to assume there'd be... Do I like the colour? Do I like the material? Let's say that I'm not sure if there's any reason why I choose colour versus material, so I'm going to go for material and see how that goes. I like the material, to be honest. It's soft, but it manages to feel sturdy at the same time. It's neat how it does that. Ted crosses his arm and raises an uh-oh. I feel like I didn't choose the right option there. That's nice and all, but I thought I'd asked you to name something besides how comfy it is. That's basically all you said. Oops, he's right. That is the same thing as saying the uniform's comfy. Oops. Oh well, never mind. I racked my brain, trying to think of something else to say. I got nothing. Ted sighs loudly in disappointment. Never mind, I was obviously expecting a wee bit much. I get it, there ain't nothing you like about the uniforms. Ted's obviously sore about my opinion. I really did try to think of something nice to say, but I blanked. Maybe it'd be better to try and change topics for now. I have a question, boss. At least try to sound like you mean it when you call me that. But shoot, what's the question? We only have to wear the uniform, right? Can I push the sleeves up if I need to? I don't see any problem with that, no. Phew, cool, thanks. I get to work on adjusting the uniform. I undo some of the top buttons so the flap hangs to the side and exposes the colour of my shirt underneath. Next, I roll up the sleeves to just above my elbows and fold the ends for a tailored look. I give the same treatment to the legs of the suit until they're resting right above my knees. There we go. What do you think you're doing to your uniform? Making it cute? You said I could push up the sleeves and I'm technically still wearing it. I twirl in place to show it off. Makes it look like I'm wearing a romper now. Totally in. Ted closes his eyes and runs a weary hand through his hair. I will never understand how a woman's mind works. But anyway, if your one-woman fashion show is finished, you're done here. Seriously? Awesome, what time is it? Ted turns his wrist my way so I can see the face of his watch. Almost 10. I'll have to open the star soon. I can help you. That's what all the training was for, right? Like, I'm basically official. Yeah, but no. Get out. I put my hands on my hips and frown at him, not budging. Geez, do you really not think I can help you after all that? Nicole, I'm offering to let you go because I thought you'd want to get some more shut-eye. Since you've been working hard this whole morning, I wanted to give you a break. Ted glances away furtively. Something like that. Is he serious right now? Because if he is, wow, that's really nice of him. I thought it was all serious business when it came to the store. Looks like he was the one to prove me wrong this time. Fine, I'll head back to my dorm. I could use a little nap now that you mention it. Before I head to the back room to get my clothing, I stop and point to the makeshift romper I'm wearing as my uniform. I never thought I'd ask this, but I could take this with me, right? Yeah, and don't you start about how much you hate it, Nicole. I ain't gonna listen to any more of that hogwash, you hear? I giggle as I hear Ted huffily begin to prep the store for opening. Yes, boss, I read you loud and clear. There it is. There's the store clerk job. Excellent. And with that done, I think you can see there is now a new thing available to us, which is our jobs have become available. So let's see how jobs work exactly. So I can go to the convenience store and I can work a job as a clerk. So how does that work? So that makes that uses only a single game turn. Okay. My diligence goes up significantly. My morale and energy go down because it's tiring. I will get somewhere between $18 and $21 for doing that. It only takes a single turn to do. That's good to know, okay. But there's other jobs as well. All of them have become available. So the laboratory's available up here. So I can go to the laboratory. I can be a lab assistant. So that makes my wit go up significantly. Okay, and that makes my morale energy go down. Earnings is a tiny bit higher. I'm going to guess earnings is a bit higher because my wit's already a bit higher. So that means that kind of feeds into that. So then, again, so that's slightly more money. But I might get, so yeah, between 18 and 24. Whereas in the convenience store, I get between, 10 and 23. So potentially I can do a little bit better where I am. So this kind of reaffirms exactly what I was thinking in terms of which stat refers to which person. So diligence is definitely going to be Ted and wit is definitely going to be Jeff. What does the cafeteria do, though? What does that do for me? So that's... Oh, that gets my zeal up, being a cafeteria server. So... Okay, so that will be good for Kurt. Obviously, I don't care about Kurt anymore, and I won't be interested in that. I don't get that much. I think I get slightly less money, so that's not as interesting. Now, in terms of getting my... in terms of getting my stats up, it would seem like I'd say lab assistant would be the easiest way to do this. So let's be a lab assistant. And I get, wit up 16, so that can go up really fast. And my money can go up not that much, actually. That's disappointing. So when am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to... I think it might be... Oh, yeah, so it's only during the work day. So potentially I could work a whole day, which would be really bad for my morale and energy. But then, in order to get that back, I could do bubble bathing. So a tiny zeal improvement, more actually... Actually, you know what? That's not even that worth it. For a tiny zeal improvement, but for $4 for only up to 10 morale and energy, I'd be better off just going home and napping, because that's free. But that takes 2... Okay, but that's 20 to 25, so it's still efficient and it doesn't cost anything. So actually, you know what? I'd be better off doing a fair whack of, just working pretty darn hard, and then as a result, going to, and then just napping to recover. Now, this does, however, mean that I could potentially do movie night, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, so movie night, this would be the way of getting my social stat up, as well as also restoring my morale more quickly. So basically, yes, from now on, I suspect what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working during the day, and then, I'll work during the day as hard as I can. I'll catch a movie in the evening very often, and then I'll go straight on to napping through the evening. So I'll probably be getting my stats up pretty hard. And I'm going to gun for wit and, so I'm going to go for the intelligence and the social stats. Using, working and cinema. So let's see if I can go. Yes, I am. I'm allowed to... I literally ran out of money. That's interesting. Because it was money between 10 and 12. I only had 10 money, but it charged me 11. So I was $1 short, but I was allowed to go anyway. So that got, that looks quite positive. Excellent. Oh yeah, interesting. I could do a double feature as well for really getting my social stat up in a hurry. That's interesting. All right, cool. I think that's going to be my main strategy from now on. That works well. Actually, you know what, let's just check. Now I've got my skills up a little bit. How is my clues coming on? So, clues now goes up, plus 10. So I feel like I got more clues per session than I used to. Sadly, my relationship with Ted is now only at 10%, but in all fairness, I wasn't that keen on Ted anyway. So, all right, from now on, we are going to be swimming in money by the sounds of it, though I will mainly be doing lab assisting, because just in case I decide to go down the Jeff route, that will probably be good for that, and it also gives me the best money and helps me build my biggest stat, which is wit at the moment. So there we go. But yes, as a new day dawns and Nicole forlornly stares at herself in the mirror, as someone pointed out in the car, right, there's something forlorn about the fact Nicole stands every day. At the end of the day, she just stares at herself, depressed, into the mirror, which always makes me think, did Nicole do it? Putting it out there. Okay, so I will do a little bit more of this very, very soon and get another part of this up next week. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Nicole. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Haha, I'm a genius at time. Oh, okay, this escalated quickly. I'd like to fly your drone. So good about a butterfly in a bucket. What does that tell you about the human condition? Are we the butterfly and is capitalism the bucket? What happens if you go right to the back in time? The very beginning of time. Oh, you literally just burn the universe.